want to ask you some real simple questions, and I want some real simple answers. You understand?
I know I'm behind, I'm late, but I really feel for the creator for this. And I had to stop in the middle of this because this lady was tossing word salad like it was at the Olive Garden. But we're back for part 3. So we're gonna go ahead and get back to this and hopefully make sense of things in life. All right, here we go.
Really just believe that everyone should have the right to be able to play with their friends.
Awesome. So I'm asking everyone the same controversial question. Okay. Don't shoot the messenger. All right. What is a woman?
So that's a really
Please tell me you can answer that. Please, I'm begging.
interesting question. There's a lot of different ways to answer it.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Many ways, here's, ma'am, if I were you, and I'm sure most people would agree, there's one way you could have answered that at like that. Me. Real simple answer.
For me, if somebody says that they're a woman, and that's it for me. As long as they are treating others with dignity and respect.
Let's take out the post pandemic be kind BS. Please, please miss me with that. Let's get back to the biological basics.
I can treat them with dignity and respect, and that's what matters for me.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
Forgive me on this one. I can treat everybody with the same dignity and respect, but please, let's not mistake the fact that we have to be able to have this thing called discernment. So we know what is real and what is not. We know what a clear definition is and what it is not. It said when the creator asked, "What is a woman?" I'm sure she could have answered that just as quick as most people would. It said, there's no real dancing around that question. I mean, we could say the other part that put life into me, as said, or the egg, because obviously the male has the sperm. But you get what I'm saying.
To say before I leave?
So we're here with the Jewish community. We're here with Jewish partners like the National Council of Jewish Women and the Union for Reform Judaism. And our coalition is here really just to show the Jewish community believes in the inherent dignity of every single trans person and every single trans young person. Categories in sport are there to give opportunities across the whole of society. We would not dream of allowing a 15-year-old boy to say that he identifies as 10 and he could go in and beat the 10-year-olds. We would not dream of allowing a heavyweight boxer to identify as a lightweight and go in and knock 7 bells out of a lightweight boxer. Why are we allowing a biological male to say that he identifies or feels like a female and he can therefore go in and steal female prizes?
Now, here's the $50 question that I have. So, with this whole concept, Who was the which gender, be it male or female, was the one that threw the inclusion rod to create the havoc that it seems like it's going to be almost a never. Well, currently the struggle has come to a cease due to the fact that it had to go to a point to where it had to be an executive order to know what gender is. How are we as a society that backwards, asking for friends, that we have to have law to say what gender is?
It has to stop. These guys have to stop it.
Can you tell my viewers what the case today in the Supreme Court is about? There's two cases that are being seen for fairness in women's sports.
Shout out to this lady for the MJF scarf. Yeah, I follow wrestlers, so I'm gonna at least give the shout out to that. And why? And also, it might lighten it up a little bit, lighten up the mood just a little bit.
Peacock versus, what is it? I forgot. I just totally drew a blank because my brain is fried. There's one in West Virginia, and then there's Peacocks. I forgot the person that they're going against, but there are two males that want to play in female sports today, and I think we're going to get the results probably back by June. Yeah, I think so. I would hope so. The first quarter usually they get the results back. So I already know from TikTok exactly why you're here, but for my viewers who do not know you, do you want to explain exactly why you're here and also explain like your platform and what you do? I'm here because I want to protect women's spaces, and I'm on TikTok doing the same exact thing. So right now we're doing sports. I do some things with prisons, just women's spaces in general, no males in. So I'm asking everyone, I don't care what side they're on, what is a woman? An adult female human being. Biatch. That was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got to give her flowers for that one. That I think this, while very factual, this one was probably the funniest interview because she at least came with it.
So easy. To those trans identified males, what do you have to say for those who say that hormones erode enough of their advantage to compete in women's sports? Women are.
Sorry. God gave you what God gave you. So that's what it is. It is when you came out with what you have from the person that you call mom, that's what you start with, that's what you're gonna die with. Let's just go ahead and put that card down.
Are just not like really super weak men, and typically women don't want to play against males unless they consent to play in a co-ed league. I'm totally for co-ed leagues.
It said, I gotta call you Miss MJF for that scarf. But that is probably the most sensible answer, or one of the most sensible answers that I've had. Like compared to I want to say the lady before that was trying to dance around people's heads, but falling flat on her face. This was a breath of fresh air. Thank you.
And another thing I've been hearing today is that they're just children. Just let them play. Yeah, let them play with their own specs, and if they want to play on a
Let them play. It said when things like scholarships and tangibles come into play, then let's go ahead and be divisive because biology allows us to do that. When it comes to things like tangibles, i.e., scholarships, let's be fair about it. And another reason why I can appreciate her answer.
Awesome. Do you have any questions for me? What is a woman?
Adult human female.
See, now we see the correlation, right? We see, was it that hard? I mean, the lady before this that was trying to run circles around people's head took forever and a day. But you realize that three people, myself, the interviewer, and the person being interviewed, basically came up with the same answer in about 5 seconds or less. That's just the point going across.
That's it. That was so easy. No more salad needed. Huh? Yeah, let me see. Yeah. That, the one with head covering? The other has a Hello, y'all willing to answer some questions for our YouTube video? Sure. Okay. So can you explain to my viewers exactly what's going on?
You know, let me ask y'all a question. I'm going to ask this question because this is something that kind of grated across my mind. So it's okay for the general public to, cover their faces, but they have a problem with ICE agents covering theirs, knowing that they're primarily in tactical gear. But theirs has a little bit more of a purpose. Or what's your purpose behind wearing a scarf or anything to cover your face any difference than an ICE agent? That's something that kind of just word across my mind. I mean, look, at the end of it, as we've seen, it said, and I hate the fact that I have to move to present day because I'm so far behind on this that you realize that the OIS would be investigated. So it's not like they don't have the good old mugshot. I mean, there's just a little bit of common sense. And if you're gonna ask this, I'm standing on it. If you ask me if those two, as in Purty and Good, were justified, the answer is no. But let's continue.
On Supreme Court today?
Of course. There are two cases being seen. Both have to do with whether or not transgender kids, mostly having to do with transgender women and girls, should be allowed to play in female sports.
Do you believe that trans women should be in women's sports?
Yes.
And what do you say to those who say that they should not be in sports or children in sports?
I will disagree.
Sorry, I can't talk today. What do you say to the people that say that trans women should not be in women's sports or trans girls should not be in girls' sports?
I would disagree with them, and I believe
What you were saying. Trust me, my words were kind of stumbling itself for a quick second. So we're not gonna throw a penalty against you for that. That's just wrong. But I'm gonna replay it just for make sure I know what I'm about to say.
What do you say to those who say that they should not be in sports or children in sports?
I will disagree.
Sorry, I can't talk today. What do you say to the people that say that trans women should not be in women's sports or trans girls should not be in girls' sports?
I would disagree with them, and I believe that they're completely mistaken.
I see why you hid your face, ma'am. This is another reason why I have to give the interviewer flowers because at least you can see her face. You can see her whole face, and what she's asking is with her whole chest. Why? And and judging by your frame and vocal tone, you seem to be you'd probably be, I'd say, about 10 years older than me. And I'm not going to disclose my age at the present time. So let's continue.
It's scientifically proven that with the hormone replacement therapy that we go through, surgeries that we go through, it causes changes on a cellular level, on an endocrine level. It affects our skeletal muscular system.
Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff.
And you think that's supposed to level the playing field? That's like the lady I was trying to say, well, there's physical advantages in sports. Well, there's also intellectual advantages. Let's see, we could say visual. There's so many other advantages, but the point of the matter is, let's keep it male and female.
And the entire argument is ridiculous because the suspicion that trans people have some kind of advantage.
Oh, killing me with this.
Oh my God. For the interviewer, here's my question. What was more painful? The wind chill or that hot garbage that you just had to listen to? That's my question.
Is completely false, and it demeans women.
Okay, so a dude playing in women's sports doesn't demean women? I mean, let's kick it old school. I'm sure if you're part of my generation, you probably heard of this movie called Ladybugs. With two deceased celebrities, Jonathan Brandis and Rodney Dangerfield. I'm sure if you don't know what the movie is or about, look it up.
Because by saying that trans women have an unfair advantage, it's saying that women are always at a disadvantage.
So if TWs are in women's sports, where do women break off? As said, see, there's too many cases. There's too many cases that people can pull to basically debunk what this lady is saying in 10 seconds. As said, Fallon Fox. As said, I'm sorry, Fallon Fox still had enough force to where I believe Fallon Fox's opponent had an orbital fracture. Or are you going to try to counter argue that and say, oh, Fallon Fox faced a female and got beat? Well, you know what? Good. Fallon Fox deserved it. And if I was the no, we go back the bus. We go back the bus because the fact you are a woman and you would allow your own sports and spaces be, I think the word that I want to say is smeared, because I'm going to say this. While primarily I do believe in the value of women's spaces, I will concede somewhat nuance to safety. The litmus test being, if you look like Blair White it's probably not a good idea to go into the men's room. I think that should be a pretty clear litmus test. But let's continue.
I believe that's demeaning to women. They're not protecting women, they're insulting us. All of us, trans and
But let me ask you a question. You're letting the dude into the sport, so isn't that kind of like, I'm going to say, if you're a gamer, which I am, it's kind of like the equivalent of E Honda giving you the 100 hand slap. You're insulting the whole concept in steamroll like fashion.
I am a trans woman, and I don't think it's insulting to recognize that male bodies have a physical advantage over female bodies. And I personally, even as a trans person, believe that we should protect women's sports. And that I think that trans women should not compete in women's sports. Yeah, so they're even.
And sadly enough, let me guess, I'm probably going to say they're probably going to look at her as a quote unquote traitor, but no.
And after, I actually have the benefit of actually transitioning on a swim team, so I have personal experience of actually competing and transitioning on the swim team with the same people, the same pool, the same coaches. And from my personal experience, I did not lose enough of my advantage during that time. So I'm asking everyone, no matter what side they're on, what is a woman?
What is a woman? Are you asking based on biology or based on gender identity?
Answer the question, lady. It's amazing to me that I would think for my age that I've done a lot of dumb shit, but this lady right here, this lady that's covered herself up and can't give, what is it, a logical answer, and she is a woman. And ladies, I'm gonna need y'all to start checking some of y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to start doing some assessments. This is coming from a male that's trying to make sense out of life, but I know a little something.
I'm just asking, what is a woman?
A woman is whatever a woman says they are.
You know, it's sad. This is another it's sad. You're a woman, but yet you're ducking the question. The interviewer, Cassie, has answered the question clearly and cleanly. How the hell is it that you cannot? I swear, madam, you are insulting my intelligence. I mean, I think Forrest Gump knows the difference between a man and a woman. Sadly enough, I question if you do.
How every woman can give birth.
I understand that there's a lot of reasons.
Just because hold on, let me repeat that. Because I might have missed. I want to make sure I answer correctly.
What is a woman?
What is a woman? Are you asking based on biology or based on gender identity?
I'm just asking, what is a woman?
A woman is whatever a woman says they are.
How
every woman can give birth.
I understand that.
Boy, if you don't get the fuck out my face.
Not every woman could give birth. So, does that disqualify her from being a woman, considering the fact that, the equipment matches what a woman would have? That same equipment that put people like me out and I turn around and I address the person that put life into me as mom or mother, I swear, if you, Cassie, if you drink, I'd probably have to buy you a bottle after putting up with this one. I'd have to buy you a bottle or something.
There's a lot of reasons why women can not give birth sometimes because
not every woman's even born with a vagina or a uterus. That doesn't make them any less.
I've said this once. I've said this twice. I've said this thrice. And now we about to go for and no more. I will never, never, ever call any being with a penis mom. Never. Why? Because I came out from the womb. I don't know. After you did this, I don't know. I, I'm doing this live, and I'm ready to bang my head into my monitor. How you did? You get you get the botanical gardens for this one.
Female. Not every woman has the fortune to be born with any female sexual characteristics, and we have.
Ma'am, as much as you dancing around the damn question, do you know what some of these characteristics are? I mean, really, you've been dancing around this question, and it's pretty black and white.
To get them ourselves. That doesn't make us any less female.
my contention is that
Okay, so let me ask you a question. And I'm sure I'm sure most we can all agree. Can a TW have endometriosis or PCOS or ovarian cancer? Can a TW succumb to any of those conditions? And if anybody answers yes, I will sell you the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. It comes with attachments, as said, narrow lanes so people can wreck. I will sell that to you for 5 food stamps.
that for anyone to identify as a woman, they have to have an understanding of what a woman is. So can you?
This sounds wrong. There's a part of me that's gonna say this. It's gonna sound wrong and misogynistic on my side, so I'm willing to take this L, but I'm gonna say it with my whole chest. And this is for the quiet part out loud. Ma'am, how you let Cassie clown you? How you let Cassie clown you, ma'am?
Answer what is a woman. Let's say you talk to someone and be like, hey, that person's a woman. What would that entail?
How would I say it? Woman has no definition any more than man does.
Say that one more